Now, being a wedding photographer and a portrait photographer, I have an array of lenses that we use. Some lenses we use for events, some lenses we use for portraits. And that's what this video is all about. This video is for my go-to portrait lens, my go-to portrait lenses. These are the lenses that I use out in portraits, at my studio, and also outdoors. This particular lens I even use sometimes on my event photographies, doing quinceañeros, weddings, and stuff like that. But again, without further ado, these are my go-to lenses when it comes to portraits. So I have here my nifty 50 millimeter lens. Let me see if I can turn that a little bit over here someplace without dropping it. Oh, where'd it go? It's 50 millimeter right there. Let me see if I can put it right where the camera is, right there. Yeah, oh, that's a nice shot, y'all. 50 nifty 50 millimeter lens, y'all, right there. This is an awesome lens. What makes this lens so awesome? Well, it's funny you'd ask. Let me tell you. Number one, this is a prime lens. So a prime lens, you know, is definitely going to give you the sharpest images out there. Two, this is a 1.2 aperture lens, which is going to make it very good in low lighting situations. So pretty much 90% of the times you can get out there and you can probably do a lot of things without adding light. A lot of photographers nowadays like using as much natural light as possible, and this is one lens that allows you to use a lot of natural light without having to add too much artificial light. Nifty 50 1.2, again, which is gonna make it great at nighttime or in low lighting, and also at 1.2 aperture, you're gonna be able to blur out your background. Yeah, the background. You're gonna be able to blur out the background like crazy. So that's another thing about this lens. So again, you're just gonna get sharp images. You're gonna be able to blur out that background, and you're also gonna be awesome images in low lighting. So this is the nifty 50, y'all. This is a must in every photographer bag. And years ago, this lens here, I believe, is a little bit over $2,000 or around $2,000 range. Years ago, I don't know if they still have it now because I hadn't researched it before this video, but years ago, before I was able to afford this 1.2, I had the 1.8 version, and I think there was a 1.4 version. So again, you don't always have to have the 1.2 right away. Those other lenses are very affordable, and they're also very awesome as well. So nifty 50, y'all, lens number one in my go-to lenses. Lens number two. This is our portrait photography go-to. Get it? Go-to, two lenses. Go-to lenses right here. This guy, this one is the 85 millimeter Canon 1.2 aperture lens. This right here, y'all, is just amazing. This is known as the portrait lens right here. This lens is unbelievable. I mean, what makes it amazing, very similar again to the 50 millimeter with its 1.2 aperture, which is gonna make it great in low lighting situations. Also, you're going to be able to blur out that background and get rid of things that you don't want that are going to take away from your subject. So that's what makes this lens awesome. At 85 millimeters, it does have a little bit of zoom in there. There's a little bit of compression, a little bit of zoom, and it's just beautiful. And again, you're just going to get tack sharp images with this prime lens. And if I just kind of get it a little close to you guys can kind of see right about there. That is your 85 millimeter lens right there. I absolutely love this lens, y'all. And again, this is a lens that I owned at 1.8 or 1.4. So you can't get this lens before you make it a 1.2 aperture. Maybe if the pockets are not there, you can get one that's not the L series. Again, what I just love about this lens is just dreamy, beautiful portraits. You can dream out, you can blur out that background. 1.2 aperture is gonna be awesome in low lighting. And again, it's just so sharp, being a prime lens. So again, y'all, this one's a little bigger than the 50mm, but again, y'all, this lens is just unbelievable. So there you have it, guys. So basically, to me, the difference between this one and the 50, they're very similar. The obvious thing being with the 50mm, it is a little wider zoom, so you actually can get either more of your subject or more people in the actual shot. This one is a little zoomed in at 85mm, so that's pretty much the biggest difference. This is a little bigger and a little heavier. You don't need to own every lens in the book, but these are lenses that you definitely want to try to get as a photographer, because these are lenses that are definitely going to grow your stock as a photographer. And not lenses don't do it alone. You have to put in the work and know settings and know how to use your camera in manual mode and know how to take great photos. And then when you add this to it, it's just going to be the icing on top. So I hope you guys enjoyed my two lenses that I'm currently using for portraits, my nifty 50 and my 85mm Canon lens, 1.2 apertures, both of them. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit subscribe. Please make sure you hit like, you hit share, you hit comment, and turn on the notifications if you want to see more content like this. I've been a photographer in the field for over 10 years, and I have a lot of knowledge, and I love to share it with you guys, but you guys have to help me out and go ahead and subscribe.